everyone. My name is Amber Lynn. I'm a certified life coach and author. Today, I'm here with Patrick Doyle. He is a best-selling author, counselor, and expert in relationships. So, welcome today.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, Patrick, what makes someone afraid of being misunderstood?
Mm, Great question. I see this a lot actually in what I get a chance to do with folks. Generally, when someone is afraid of being misunderstood, it's because they feel like they have been, and the consequences have been not good. So when you're in a relationship with someone who has a lot of denial, you have an issue, you bring it up, and then they rationalize, minimize, justify, deny, spiritualize, whatever. And then you start to doubt whether or not what you saw was real or what you felt was real. So you start to have a lot of self-doubt. So then that can spread to all kinds of relationships. So when you're talking to someone, you have this fear that they're going to not understand what you're saying. So you have a tendency to try to over-explain because you're trying to make sure that they get what you're saying. And in a situation where the person that you're with is not in a lot of denial, they're like, why are they giving me so many details? Because they just are taking you at face value. So when you're in a relationship where someone undermines your perception of reality, you're going to have a tendency to try to over-explain because you're fearful of the consequences if someone doesn't understand. But usually the problem isn't that the other person doesn't understand or that you're explaining it inadequately. It's because you're in a relationship with someone who undermines your perception of reality.
Wow. Yeah, I've seen this a lot with my own clients, and I've struggled with this in the past. I'll hear
Mhm.
certain things that they say, like, "Does that make sense?"
Yep.
Or
Mhm.
you know what I mean?
Yep.
Like,
Seeking the validation that the communication has been had,
yeah. So that
right?
that need
Yeah.
for validation and to
Yes.
not be misunderstood or really be
Right.
understood. So that's one thing
Right.
I really love about our community is
Mhm.
they know that we get it.
Yep.
We get this stuff. We
Yep.
understand it. So
Yep.
if somebody's struggling with this and they're afraid, they want to connect, they want to get support, but they're afraid of
Mhm.
being misunderstood. What do you recommend,
Mhm.
like next steps?
Right. Well, one of the things that's really important is that you have a sense of trust with the person that you reach out to. So I've seen this a lot. Unfortunately, in the church, there's been a lot of harm in this way because a woman who's in a situation where there is a lot of emotional harm going on, then she finally gets up the courage to say something, very fearful that she's going to be misunderstood or even worse, blamed. And then they tell someone in spiritual authority, and then that person puts the responsibility on them without ever checking any of the facts.
Hmm.
So, that's a huge problem. So when someone, the amount of courage, what I'm getting at is the amount of courage it takes for someone to say this stuff out loud to another person is really high. So I think that you have to have some sense that the person that you're talking to understands, right? This is why we do so many videos, is because we want people to understand that, yes, there are some of us out there that have experienced it and that do understand, and we want to help. And that's the key to it. But that hurdle is really high. And I think it's actually healthy that you don't just tell anyone. And I would actually recommend that you don't vet people. And if you over vet them, that's not a bad thing. That's a good thing because the amount of damage that's done to someone who finally says something and then they're blamed, that might be years before they do it again. And in the interim, they're being harmed on a regular basis. So, I would really encourage you to, see if there's anybody around. Reach out to us, reach out to Pathway to Hope. We certainly get it, but it's a huge deal. And I think a lot of people are suffering because they can't get over that hurdle.
Yeah, I agree. Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
If you found this helpful, we created a free resource for you in the description below. Feel free to check that out. There's also links for support, whether it be community or one-on-one private coaching with either Patrick or I. So, but until next time, thank you.